Advocates and lawmakers rally behind handgun permit-to-purchase legislation in the first state. Plus, a social media video series is making waves and some changes when it comes to parking frustrations in downtown Wilmington. And the connection between domestic violence and animal abuse has caught the attention of Delaware lawmakers. Those stories and much more straight ahead on DETV News. Hello and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for joining us. Democratic lawmakers rallied their support behind Senate Bill 2 this week. They say this is just the last piece of a slew of common sense gun reform bills that Delaware has already passed. Senate Bill 2 tackles gun safety from multiple angles. Should the legislation pass, Delawareans wishing to obtain a handgun must first apply and be approved for a permit to purchase a handgun. Holders of valid concealed carry permits, qualified and retired law enforcement officers would be exempt. The bill also prohibits both unlicensed and licensed importers, manufacturers, or dealers from selling or transferring a handgun to someone unless they have a permit to purchase. Applicants must complete a firearms training course within 5 years before the date of application. That's under the bill. The Department of Safety and Homeland Security is also offering to develop a firearm training voucher program for low-income residents per the legislation. Senate Majority Whip Tizzy Lockman says the increased checks will also help law enforcement to better determine who they are actually approving to own a gun. The current federal background check allows dealers to sell firearms 3 days after the would-be purchaser has completed a background check, even if the background check has not yet been completed. Senator Lockman says Senate Bill 2 will help close that loophole. Those opposed to Delaware's past gun reform laws, like banning assault weapons and ghost guns, argue that gun control should regulate the person and not the weapon. However, state officials argue that this bill does exactly that. This is not the first time this bill has been introduced in the Delaware General Assembly. Changes and compromises made include exempting gun owners who already have a concealed carry permit and the voucher program previously mentioned. A man has been arrested by Newcastle County Police following an investigation into reports of nails and screws being dumped onto roads at the entrances in different communities in Hockessin. They resulted in flat tires for some residents. Surveillance footage of a suspect vehicle led to the arrest of 31-year-old Scott Taylor from Pennsylvania. He's been charged with 2 felonies, including criminal mischief and stalking, as well as a misdemeanor criminal mischief and disorderly conduct. Police have determined that Taylor was targeting a specific person with these acts of vandalism. He is currently being held at the Howard R. Young Correctional Center on $5,000 cash bail. Anyone with information related to these incidents is urged to contact Newcastle County Police at 302-395-2815. Highmark Health Options, the company responsible for most Medicaid recipients here in Delaware, has reversed its earlier decision to reduce reimbursements for nurse practitioners in the state. Highmark Health has now decided to fully reimburse advanced practice registered nurses for the same services as physicians, a move that was not previously made. Previously, Highmark Health had only reimbursed advanced practice registered nurses at 85% of the standard rate, but they will now be reimbursed for all services they provided in 2023. The state's Division of Medicaid and Medical Assistance was informed of the decision on Thursday, and official letters will be sent to all advanced practice registered nurses on Friday. And Wilmington City Council shot down an ordinance that would have prevented members from hiring immediate family to the legislative body. The bill was defeated 5-5, with Council members Chris Johnston and Letitia Bracey voting present. Council member Michelle Harley was absent. Council members gave varying reasons for opposing the bill, including that it didn't include all city departments and it didn't tackle the issue of hiring friends. Council President Ernest Trippi Congo said it's a great piece of legislation that shows the public council members want to be transparent. Studies have shown that 60% of people who experienced abuse in their childhoods saw their abuser also harm their pets, while 3 out of 4 abused women saw their partners also harm or threaten their pets. Noting this, the Delaware State Senate has passed almost entirety, 2/3, of a 3-part legislation package that protects pets from abuse, in addition to protections already in place against domestic violence. The court would be able to grant a petitioner exclusive care, custody, or control of a companion animal and order a petitioner to stay away from the companion animal. The court would be able to determine who the caretaker of the animal would be and if someone would have to stay away from the animal as well. The bill could actually help spot domestic violence in homes earlier, as animal abuse can be a warning sign. According to the Animal Welfare Center, 37 states currently include pets in protection from abuse orders. Last week, we introduced you to a new video series making a splash on social media. The series is focused on parking rules here in the city of Wilmington. Ken Grant continues to lead the fight for responsible City of Wilmington parking, as well as towing fees and regulations. And he's taking it to the streets quite literally. And as you'll see in this week's latest episode, his efforts are succeeding. Take a look.
Here we are on Maryland Avenue, one of the major arteries coming into the city of Wilmington every morning. What we have here is a whole series of signs over a half-mile stretch stating no parking from 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. And yet, so for this episode, we're just going to sit back and take a look at the traffic on an average morning between 7 and 9 a.m. Once again, we've reached out to the City of Wilmington, to the administration and to City Council. It's Tuesday night. I'm heading to an event and I look over here on Maryland Avenue and what do I see but some newish signs. The old signs about no parking from 7 to 9 a.m. are gone. It looks like the city has gone with going with consistency. And allowing the parking to take place without fear of tow-away zones or ticketing or anything like that. I have to say I'm really impressed at the speed at which the city moved on this, and sincerely I appreciate it. And actions speak louder than words. So thank you for doing that, and I hope that this means that maybe we can have a real conversation going forward about so many of the other issues that we have going on.
Ken says this video series is designed to help educate the public and engage the city in a conversation about the need for a comprehensive review of the system. For detailed information on his efforts and for past videos, head to appealingwilmington.com. Next week, we'll share the 4th installment of his series. Fisher's popcorn lovers, this one's for you. The Delaware beach staple is planning to build a production facility down in Frankfort, Delaware that will boost its wholesale operation. The company currently sells its products online and in more than 2,000 grocery stores across the country. The new facility will more than quadruple its space for manufacturing and wholesale operations and increase bag packing capabilities from 8 bags per minute to 30 to 35 bags per minute. Fisher's plans to spend $4.85 million on the 10,000 square foot facility. As part of the expansion, Fisher's plans to hire 20 employees for its manufacturing and wholesale operations. This week, the state's Council on Development Finance approved up to $205,000 in taxpayer grants to support the expansion. The grant money comes from the Delaware Strategic Fund, a pool of state money intended to draw businesses here to Delaware and retain them. The grants support Fisher's capital expenses and job expansion. A Dover HBCU step team took home a national prize at the 2023 National High School and Collegiate Step Championships at the Apollo Theater in New York over the weekend. Delaware State University's step team I-Step secured the top prize, 2023 National Collegiate Performing Arts National Step Champions. DSU beat out 8 of the best college step teams in the country to take the crown along with $5,000. I-Step stands for I Step Towards Exceptional Performance. The team, which features all women, celebrated its 10-year anniversary this year. DSU was one of 3 HBCUs in the competition, along with Howard and Lincoln. DSU bested Cornell, Mercy College, Tufts, and Long Island University. Congratulations. And there's a new spotlight on the diversity and attractions of Wilmington and the Brandywine Valley. The Greater Wilmington Convention and Visitors Bureau just launched a 4-month integrated marketing campaign designed to highlight the treasures of the area to attract potential visitors living within a 200-mile radius of its accessible Mid-Atlantic location. Central to the campaign is the Brandywine Treasure Trail Passport, which allows visitors to experience 12 of the region's top attractions. The passport gives them the option to discover all 12 participating sites, including the 5 DuPont estates, in a day or 2, or they can extend their experience throughout the year. The campaign also builds awareness of the region's tax-free shopping, recreational activities, and the area's incredible arts and historic attractions. Mark your calendars, the Wilmington Flower Market Festival at Rockford Park is set to return for its 101st year. The admission-free 3-day event is filled with flowers, crafts, food, carnival rides, a petting zoo, a beer garden, and live entertainment. And the best part, it's raised more than $4 million for over 50 children's charities in Delaware in the past 100 years. The flower market will be held May 11th through the 13th at Rockford Park. Can't wait until then? Well, no worries, the Blue Rocks has you covered. Come celebrate the flower market early this Friday night at Frawley Stadium. There will be various displays and events to showcase the Wilmington institution. For more information, head to the wilmingtonflowermarket.org. That's all for this edition of DETV News. Be sure to follow us across your favorite social media platform and take a look at our website. That's detvch.com. With tonight's edition, I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week.